It's time to fire this thing up. What a beautiful day to be out on the water. Hey, well, good deal you made it. Hi, I'm John Graviscus. This is my son, Jonathan, as well as Hayden. And boys, could you please stand up? Because man, have you grown through the years. Jonathan is now 23, Hayden is 20. And I want to talk about a real life family situation, okay? Our kids grow. Grandkids will come into the equation. And our boating lifestyle kind of changes. And what I'm talking about here, guys, is do you remember our 19-foot Boston Whaler? You were relatively small. Jonathan was like 11, Hayden was 6, my daughter Rachel was only 1 year old, and they weren't even thinking about doing water sports. Well, the kids are really into wakeboarding today. And what we're in right now, this is a 2014, this is a Bayliner 190 deck boat. And a lot of people, this is a very popular boat, a lot of people will get a craft like this right out of a dealership. And this is kind of how it's set up. All right, you've got D-rings on the stern, and we could wakeboard from that. We could put a bridle around the outboard engine. Or this particular craft has a ski pylon right here. It gets the tow point a little bit higher. But guys, could you imagine if we could install some type of a tow point way up high, maybe 7, 8 feet, the tricks that you could do off of the wake? And that's what I'm talking about today here at Ship Shape TV. We're going to show you how to totally transform the look of the boat as well as the functionality of the boat very affordably with the addition of an aftermarket wakeboard tower. It's going to be very, very cool. And in fact, here is just the tease.
Welcome back. This is a real working 28-acre boatyard slash boat building facility residing in Stuart, Florida. It's Ship Shape TV's home base. Ideally located, the complex is situated on the shores of the Okeechobee Waterway, which happens to connect the Atlantic Ocean to the Gulf of Mexico. Now, once again, here's the founder and host of Ship Shape TV, John Graviscus.
What you're looking at is a couple of the components to an aftermarket wakeboard tower. Thanks, Buck. Like always, great introduction. Welcome back. I'd like to introduce you to an expert in the field of wakeboard towers. He's right over here. This is Tony Williams, and I've known Tony for about 10 years. Tony is with Monster Towers, and Monster Towers is the world leader in original equipment towers for boat builders. Now, what a wakeboard tower gives you is a higher tow point, and that gives the kids the ability to kind of get pulled up when they're jumping that wake or doing a flip, rather than being stuck right at that stern, right at where that tow line is kind of connected. And Tony, you make several models as aftermarket wakeboard towers. What's the first model?
First model is an MTE. The MTE is our entry-level tower. It's very cost-effective. It's going to sell in the $700 range. So.
How thick is that pipe? That looks pretty beefy.
It is. It's 2.5-inch pipe, and it's also anodized tubing that's on the outside to protect it from oxidation and corrosion.
What's our next example?
The next example is our original tower. It is the MT1. We've sold more MT1s than anything over the years, and it is just a wildly popular tower.
You know, Tony, I was doing some research, and it's my understanding that you've sold almost 40,000 of these units, man.
We have.
And I'm telling you, this is becoming very, very popular.
Yes,
okay.
It is.
What's our third?
This is the MT2. The MT2 is for a larger boat, you know, more of the 21 to 28, 29 range, with a longer windshield on it.
So when you call it a universal fit, what exactly does that mean?
All of our towers are designed to fit any trailerable boat. However, there's different applications that one tower would work better than the other, and you can call our customer service team and they can get you hooked up with exactly what tower is going to be best for your application.
Now, which tower are we going to be installing to the 190 Bayliner, that deck boat?
This is our latest tower. It's called the MTK. The MTK is offered in black powder coated, or it's also in anodized as well. It's 2.5-inch pipe construction, forward facing. It's going to have a lot more of a
I was
progressive
noticing
stance.
that, Tony.
Yeah.
This one's definitely forward facing. It's a much more progressive look.
Right.
Your other towers are facing aft.
Yes.
Okay, and how hot of a seller is this right now?
It is unbelievably popular. We're selling more MTKs right now than any other tower.
Okay, let's get into some of the accessories. We talked about the advantage of a higher tow point, okay? But let's talk about the advantage of these wakeboard towers getting the gear off of your deck and giving you some room. What are the different types of wakeboard racks?
We have several different options on wakeboard racks. This is a wake surf combo that hooks onto the tower and it will remove. We also have an adapter that will allow this to swivel inside the boat, so it's easier to A, load your boards, or B, if you're going to raft up with somebody, it doesn't hit the side of their boat or tower.
I noticed that it's lined with a rubber type of material, and that keeps your wakeboard from being damaged or anything like that, which is really cool.
We also have bimini tops that hold wakeboard racks, or that hold wakeboards and surfboards as well.
So you can get a shade out of your wakeboard tower.
Absolutely.
Man, that is really cool. Okay, I see that you have, you know, mirrors, and that's important if you're pulling a skier or if you're pulling a wakeboarder, something like that, that you have a rear view mirror. But let's get into the tunes. These kids, when they want to go out wakeboarding, they really love having that music, okay? And when you're talking about speakers with tunes, you probably need something waterproof. What do you offer?
We've got quite a few options on tower speakers, from a single 6.5-inch can up to a fully horn-loaded compression driver. These are anodized as well.
And they put out some music,
They
don't
do. They'll crank.
Now later in the program, after we do an installation, we're going to have a world-famous wakeboarder on the program doing a demonstration. Who is that? And the reason I'm talking about that is he invented something that really helps a lot of boaters out.
Kobe Mikachik's going to be on the program later on, and he is the inventor of the hang tight. The hang tight eliminates the pole from underneath the cover of your boat, and this piece hooks up to the top of the wakeboard tower. We'll do an installation on this as well.
This is going to be so awesome. Tony, if somebody had more questions, if somebody wants to maybe think about a universal fit wakeboard tower for their particular craft, how do people at home get you?
Look us up on monstertower.com. We've got the full line of accessories, wakeboard towers, and pricing.
Stay the course. ShipShape TV and its host, John Graviscus, will be back in a flash. Welcome back. You're watching ShipShape TV. Boat improvement made easy.
Welcome back. Our task today is to install an aftermarket wakeboard tower to this model year 2014 Bayliner. This is the 190 deck boat, and we again have the thrill of having Tony Williams on the program from Monster Towers. And Tony, during the break, we had Bert, my head technician, as well as my son Jonathan, remove the bimini top. And now that we're putting on this tower, we don't need a bimini top anymore because that's an accessory that you can get. You can add a bimini top to your wakeboard tower, correct?
Right. Integrated right into it, yes.
Okay. Should we take this boat out of the water, though, to do the installation? Is it better done on land?
Absolutely.
It's just more stable. We're going to have to be doing some dry fitting and everything else. How many components make up the frame of one of these monster towers?
The MTK has three components to it. There's two side pieces and then the header.
How do they attach to one another?
It's going to through bolt in the header, and it pivots to allow for the different beams.
Okay. Now, let's talk about positioning. Could you show everybody at home where we should be mounting some type of a wakeboard tower? Please do that.
This particular application, we're going to have to mount it on the side. We generally recommend that you mount to the top of the gunnel, John, but this has a grab rail, and we don't want to remove this grab rail.
So if you can, try to mount to the top of your gunnel.
Absolutely.
If you can't, you can go in through the side.
If you do the proper reinforcement, you can mount on the side. You need to reinforce no matter what, even if it is on the top of the gunnel. There's a tremendous amount of force that's put on a wakeboard tower just from the hitting the wakes and people pulling on it. So.
Okay, now there are a lot of boats out there that might not be reinforced.
Absolutely.
Okay, and this is critical. You might have to put in maybe a core material like marine grade plywood and then glass over top of that to give yourself some more thickness. Some boats are plenty thick, okay, as they come. What about this particular Bayliner? Do we need to add reinforcement?
This particular one we do not, because the MTK is the factory option and it's already reinforced in this area. So it's going to be a pretty easy installation for us.
Okay. I want to talk a little bit about this upholstery that's back behind us, okay, and kind of where we're going to need to position this. Is it critical where that toe is, okay, up high? Can it come a little bit farther forward? Can it come a little bit farther back? Does it matter?
The ski toe, it's not as critical where the location of the ski toe is. We want to look at how the tower folds, when it folds down, and where your bimini coverage off the tower is going to be. And that's going to kind of dictate where we go.
Hold on, time out. You're telling me that these wakeboard towers fold down, so if you're trying to get it into a garage, or if you're trying to get under a bridge, you can fold it down, and
Absolutely.
it's very, very compact?
Absolutely.
Man, that is really trick. We've got some upholstery that we need to remove, though, and we have some thickness here. If our landing pad is on the outside of the boat, take a look at how thick this is right here. We have finished fiberglass. We have finished fiberglass. Do we have to cut access to through bolt?
We do. This side's going to be covered with an interior piece. It's
Right.
not that critical.
Okay.
This particular side, we may have to drill an extra speaker location and, a big hole so we can access in there and just cover it with a speaker and wire that in.
But these aren't put in with self-tapping screws. These
Yeah.
are through bolted for strength.
Absolutely.
And how many landing pads are there?
We have 4 landing pads and 2 bolts per landing.
Okay, so we've got 8 bolts that we need to get together. We're going to need to add the wakeboard tower speakers to it, and that means we're going to have to run some speaker wire. Do these towers come with navigation lights?
This particular tower comes with a navigation light on top of the ski toe. The other 3 towers have a flip-up light.
Now, we talked about adding the bimini top, okay? So we're going to have to do all that. But literally, we're going to be able to transform the look of this boat and the functionality of this boat. And Tony, thank you. We need to real quick take another time out.
That's right. Our project today is pretty much complete, which means we're now back on the water with John.
We have done a tremendous amount of work to this bay liner. And guys, I want to show you the transformation here. Okay, straight from the dealership with the bimini top, kind of mounted. Nice boat, but it looked pretty plain Jane. We've gone ahead and we have added one of these aftermarket universal fit monster towers to the boat. And I'm telling you, this thing looks absolutely amazing. And we've got a lot of people on the boat now because we're going to be demonstrating it. And we've got a lot of pretty big names in wakeboarding here. First off, this is Kobe Mikasic, and Kobe has a school up in Orlando. He teaches students how to wakeboard, and they get pretty big, like this guy over here. This is Sean O'Brien, okay? And this is big, man. If you're a wakeboard, you know who these guys are, okay? This is a big deal. We also have another one of Kobe's students. This is Mitch Allen, and you're up and coming, dude. I see this, but we need the big guns out there today, okay? We're gonna throw Kobe in the water. But about an hour ago, Kobe and I were talking on the shore, and he developed this, this device that actually goes into your cover on the boat. And it was very fascinating. So if we could, let's go ahead and roll that footage.
How we came up with the idea for the hang tight, John, is in Orlando, Florida, we have a park called Freedom Wake Park. It's a wakeboard school.
This is your school.
This is our school, absolutely. And we cover our boats every single day. So we were going underneath that cover, dealing with those tent poles, in the heat, miserable. We said there's got to be a better way. We saw the monster tower, we said let's just hang it from above. So now simply we hang it from above, it beats the rain off, you never have to crawl underneath your cover ever again.
All right, Kobe, it's our moment of truth here, man. All right, I see you got your vest on. I'm gonna need you to grab a board. Let's put the boat in idle if we could, please. And let's see what you got.
Let's do it, let's go.
We are all used up in time. We've got a couple of people that we need to thank. First off, Kobe, man, that was amazing. Your student, Mitch. We also had Sean on the program, O'Brien, my very good friend, Tony Williams over at Monster Towers. My guys worked real hard. Everybody that helped us out with the tips today. But the most important one that we need to thank, that's right, it's been you. Thanks so much for hanging out with us right here on the beautiful, magnificent water's edge for the last half hour. Take a look at this accessory. Could you make your boat ship shape with something like that? I bet you could. See you next time.